Hey, this is C&D channel. I'm Chris. This is MMA for you. I'm going to be doing my predictions for World Series of Fighting 1, which is going to happen on November 3rd on the NBC Sports Network. The prelims also, which are really, you had some pretty good prelims, especially like Cobb versus Torres. I know ShareDog's going to have that streaming on their website. I'm not too sure where else it's going to be on, but I know they have it. Overall, good card. A lot of former UFC and just well-known talent here. Nice to see like guys like Torres or Johnson. You get to see that debut of Tyrone Sponge. So it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting card. For sure. Okay, let's just get started. Okay, the first fight of the main card and the main event is Andrei Arlovski versus Devin Cole. The thing with Arlovski is, in his last fight against Tim Sylvia, he probably would have won if they didn't have that rule about the soccer kicks having like the ref having to call whether it's legal or not. It was, or if the guy can intelligently defend himself or not. Of course, they changed that rule. Before that, he was on a 2-fight winning streak. And with Arlovski, has a 17-9 record with 1 no contest, 13 wins by KO or TKO, and he's 3 wins by sub. And 7 of his losses are by KO or TKO. He's 33 years old and training at Greg Jackson's gym. Or Jackson Winklejohn. His offensive boxing has always been really solid. He puts combinations together really well. One of his biggest problems, though, is he does keeps his hands low, and his chin definitely has deteriorated. He really reacts badly to getting hit. I remember this one time, just in the Tim Sylvia fight. He has this. If he gets hit, he goes straight back against the cage. I remember when Sylvia was kind of teeing off on him, he just kind of stuck his arms out and almost looked like he was frozen. So he doesn't react. He doesn't react well to getting hit. Offensively, he's a great fighter, and he has a really underrated grappling game as well. Always a big fan of the guy, though, and he has solid takedown defense as well. Devin Cole, experienced guy himself. 20-9 record with 1 draw, 10 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. He's 36 on a 2-fight win streak. He last fought December 2011. I think in that 2-fight win streak, one of those wins was against Sean Jordan. He's a veteran. Devin Cole, he's a veteran. He has some solid wrestling, decent stand-up. I think Arlovski's probably going to best him in the stand-up. The wrestling, I think that Arlovski should be able to defend a couple of his takedowns. Like I said, he does have a pretty solid takedown defense. So I think if Arlovski can get a sprawl and brawl game plan going on, I got Andrei Arlovski to get the win here. I don't think he's going to get knocked out by Devin Cole. I should hope not. But it's always, at this point with Arlovski, it's like always a concern. And that's really troubling about Arlovski. Okay, next after that, we have Anthony Rumble Johnson versus DJ Linderman. Linderman has a 13-3 record, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 4 wins by sub. He's on a 3-fight win streak, and he's 29 years old. The most exposure I probably got to Linderman, he fought on Legacy, I think in his last fight, Legacy Fighting Championships. And then I remember his fights against Rafael Davis and Richard Hale in Bellator. It's kind of, when I remember his stand-up, he has good stand-up, he kind of brawls a little bit with Anthony Johnson. 13-4 record, 9 wins by KO or TKO, and he has 4 decision wins. He has 3 losses by submission as well. 28 years old and 3-fight win streak. He's now at 205, training with the Black Zillions. He's always had solid kickboxing. I don't know how this guy managed to cut to 170. I mean, the guy's just huge. He looks like a natural 205er now. You know, he uses a lot of kicks, and he has good wrestling as well. Offensively, good takedown defense. His biggest problems really have been against the scale. I don't think that's much of a problem now that he's at 205. And he's always had issues of cardio, which again, I gotta wonder if that's more because of the massive weight cut that he was doing. Right now, though, he's packing in a lot of bulk, so that could also affect his cardio as well. Despite all that, I do have Anthony Rumble Johnson winning this one. And as far as a 205-pound matchup outside of the UFC, this is definitely one of the better ones out there. Okay, next fight after that, we have Marlon Moraes versus Miguel and Torres. Just looking at the records alone, Miguel Torres has a 40-5 record, whereas Marlon has an 8-4 record with 1 draw. So, I mean, the guy has 5 times more fights. With Moraes, he has 3 wins by KO TKO, 3 wins by sub, 2 losses by KO TKO, and 2 losses by sub. Most of his fights tend not to go to decision. He's only 24 though, and he's on a 2-fight win streak. Trains at the Armory. Miguel Torres, 9 wins by KO TKO, 23 wins by sub. 2 of his losses are by KO TKO. That was to Brian Bowles and Michael McDonald. I have the hiccups right now. I don't know why. And he's 31 years old, training at TriStar Gym. Lately, he's been showing some good boxing, and especially a good jab. And his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is really strong, both on top and off his back. He's really active off his back. He has a really long leg, so that it really helps him get like arm bars, triangle chokes, and just to really work off his back as well. He's also always had good cardio. He can go 3 rounds, 5 rounds pretty easily. Okay, next fight after that, Gregor Gracie fights Tyson Steele. Interesting fight here as both these guys have most of their wins on the ground. Gregor Gracie's 7-2 record, but 6 of his wins are by submission. Tyson Steele, 9-1 record, 7 of his wins are by sub, and 6 of those are by rear naked choke. Steele's on a 3-fight win streak with Gregor Gracie. He's 25 years old and trains at Renzo Gracie's. This one's kind of tough to call. I don't have too much knowledge on Tyson Steele. I've seen Gregor Gracie's fights in 1FC. He lost a guy, I forgot his name, Adam something or another, and then he won his last fight by armbar. This is really hard for me to call because both these guys definitely know the ground game pretty well. Age-wise, around the same. Gracie's 25, Steele's 26. So, kind of a toss-up. I'll go with Gregor Gracie. Honestly, it's hard for me to say who's going to win this one. Okay, next fight after that, we have Travis Bartlett versus Tyrone Sponge. Bartlett, 7-2 record, 5 wins by KO TKO, 1 win by sub, due to injury actually. Tyrone Sponge, it's his first pro MMA bout. He's 27 years old, trains at the Black Zillions, and he's a world-renowned kickboxer, fighting at K1 among other well-known kickboxing organizations, and he's known as one of the top kickboxers out there. Sponge, he already has the kickboxing, and he's training at the Black Zillions. He definitely has some good partners in wrestling, like Rashad Evans or like Anthony Johnson even. I got to go with Tyrone Sponge to win this one. I think but there's so many unknowns here. You don't know his ground game. You don't know his wrestling game. I don't know if Bartlett's gonna really try and take the fight to the ground. Probably be smart of him to. But you do know that Tyrone Sponge has really strong stand-up game. Pedigree-wise, was it far superior to a lot of guys. So yeah, I gotta go with Tyrone Sponge. Really interested in seeing how this fight goes. So remember, because you want to talk about like world kickboxing champions, in Bellator, Cosmo Alexander, he fought Josh Cohagen, and he wasn't even winning the stand-up portions of that fight, So it's really tough to say how a guy's gonna do in his first pro MMA bout, and how well his kickboxing transfers over to MMA. Now you gotta think about takedowns. It does hinder kickboxing for some guys. Jeez, these hiccups just won't go away. It's annoying. Okay, on to the prelims. Brian Cobb fights Ronys Torres. Good fight here. Cobb is 19-7 record, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 12 wins by sub. 4 of his losses are by submission. He's 32. He's had good wrestling, strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and good overall top control. Ronys Torres, 25-4 record, 7 wins by KO TKO, 13 wins by sub. 26 years old. He's on an 11-fight win streak. He trains at Nobu now. I think he's going to be the better striker, and I think on the ground they should be about equal. Because Ronys Torres is really strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu himself. Tough to say he's the better wrestler. I've got to go with Cobb to say he's the better wrestler here. I got to go with Ronys Torres to win this one. But especially if this fight hits the ground, it should be really interesting. Both these guys really strong on the ground, and both these guys had the most wins on the ground as well. Okay, next fight after that we have Josh the People's Warrior Burkman versus Gerald Harris. With Burkman, he has a 23-9 record, 5 wins by KO or TKO, 9 wins by sub. Has 5 losses by submissions as well. He's 32 years old on a 2-fight win streak and trains at Team Quest. So both these guys used to fight in the UFC. He's always a solid fighter. Remember, he had some pretty decent wrestling with some good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills. Decent stand-up as well. Gerald Harris, 21-4 record. 9 wins by KO or TKO, 6 wins by sub. Also 32 years old and a 4-fight win streak. He made his cut down successfully to 170 pounds. He does have good wrestling. Has some power as well. Fights in a really unorthodox stance. And stand-up's good as well. Of course, he has this really weird sideways stance going on. I think with the wrestling ability and overall just strength, I gotta go with Gerald Harris to win this one. Next fight after that, Gesias JZ Cavalcante fights TJ O'Brien. Pretty good fight here, actually. He's kind of concerned with Cavalcante. He's only won 2 of his last 9 bouts. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. I mean, as of late, the guy just has not been able to get consistency going. 16-6 record with 1 draw and 2 no contests. 5 wins by KO or TKO and 7 wins by sub. He's 29 and trains at the Black Zillions. He got KO'd by Luis Palomino in his last fight as well. He's always had some solid stand-up and some really strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's just that as of these days, he's had a lot of surgeries, and he kind of looks like a shot fighter, to be honest. Just sad to say, because I'm actually a fan of JZ. TJ O'Brien, 18-5 record, 17 wins by sub, 1 decision. He also has 4 losses by sub as well. He's 25 on a 2-fight win streak, 6'2", and he's tall for the weight class. He does have good, he's like tall and lanky, good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, decent stand-up. So it's really concerning. It's kind of an emotional pick here because I am going to go with JZ Cavalcante to win this one. But once again, there's a lot of negatives with JZ right now. So it's really tough to say how he's going to perform. Who's going to show up here? TJ O'Brien, solid fighter, especially if it hits the ground. Stand-up's not bad or anything, either. Well, next right after that, we have Dave Branch versus Dustin Jacoby. Both of these guys used to fight in the UFC, and they both were very memorable, especially Jacoby. I hate to be mean, he lost to Kilford Starks and got submitted by Chris Camozzi, but I think, if you didn't check his stats, you probably wouldn't have known he fought in the UFC. He has an 8-2 record, 7 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. He is a finisher. He's 24 and a 2-fight win streak. Trains at Finney's Hit Squad. Remember when he fought Starks? He didn't show the best ground game. Stand-ups pretty good. With David Branch. Or Dave Branch, 10-3 record, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. He's 30, and he's a Renzo Gracie black belt. Jeez. These hiccups, man. He does have good wrestling and strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think he'll be able to take the fight to the ground, get top control, and maybe even get a submission here. So I gotta go with Dave Branch to win this one. Okay, next round after that, we have Waylon Lowe versus Fabio Mello. Waylon Lowe has a 13-4 record, 6 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. Jeez. He also has 3 losses by submission. He's 32 years old and a 3-fight win streak. Trains on American Top Team. With Mello, 11-6 record, 2 wins by KO or TKO, 5 wins by sub. He's 37 and is on a 7-fight win streak. He has very strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. With Waylon Lowe. I remember Waylon Lowe because when he fought jeez, forgot his name now. Fought one of the Brazilian guys, kind of late on him. I remember he almost beat Nick Lentz until he got guillotine choked. 2 of his sub losses actually are by guillotine choke. However, Waylon Lowe does have really strong wrestling and good top control. I think with the age here, Mello's on a really good win streak, but I think that Waylon Lowe should be able to take the fight to the ground and avoid any submission attempt. So I'm going to go with Waylon Lowe to win this one. Okay, and finally Steve Carl fights Ramico Blackmon. Steve Carl, 18-3 record, Bellator veteran, 2 wins by KO or TKO, 13 wins by sub. He's 27, and he's on a 4-fight win streak. He's always had good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Still remember his war with Brett Cooper. Showed some decent stand-up there as well. With Blackmon, 8-1 record, 1 TKO win, 2 subs. The rest of his wins are by decision. He's 40 years old on a 7-fight win streak. And within that win streak, he has a notable win over Dakota Cochran. I know a little more. I've seen Steve Carl fight a little more. He has a lot more experience. He's a younger fighter as well. I gotta go with Steve Carl to win this one. That's pretty much it for my World Series of Fighting 1 predictions. If you have any comments, just leave them below. And that's it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much. Darn these hiccups, man.